Is being recorded.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday and welcome to Dreamstruck. We are so excited tonight. It is Tuesday night, and I think all of us are now looking forward to Tuesdays. It's just a moment for us to get together and to share wisdom, and also to engage with each and every one of you that want to in the chat. So make sure that you have your keyboard ready, and whatever questions you might have, we will be monitoring the chats. Without further ado, I do want to introduce our special guest for the evening, who is Laura Godwin, Superstar Director. How are you, Laura?
I'm so good. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to be with all of us. We are so excited. We have about 7 superstar directors represented tonight. We have a couple of them that are on spring break, but our teams are here. And one thing I want to say is that, you know, so many of us really look up to you. We admire you for so many reasons. You are definitely a hard worker in this business. You're also a mother, a sweet mother, and also a wife. And also, you are rocking Sensi like no other, but you recently started one of your dreams, which is the CrossFit gym location. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, you are just, again, very amazing. And so that's why we were like, we need to know how you manage your time. What systems do you have?
You are so sweet. I'm so blessed and super intimidated. You guys are rock stars. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what can I say that they probably haven't been saying since they've been in Cincy themselves? So I'm super excited. I hope I can inspire tonight for sure.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And one thing I want to say too is that Laura has a Leap to Lead program, and you can just Google it. It's on YouTube. And that is one thing that really changed the direction of my business. I remember promoting to director, and I was so afraid. I was afraid to promote because I was like, I'm not going to be able to hold this. I'm not going to be able to maintain getting paid at director title. And so my numbers kept going back. Even though we were recruiting as a team, we would lose as many, if not more, than what we recruited. And so I Googled and found this Leap to Lead program, and we used it for probably 2 years. And so, and then we kind of evolved and created Rise to Success, which is a spinoff of it. But we have had so many on our team of almost 1,500 that have promoted to director, promoted to lead, star, superstar consultant, earn incentive trips. And so it really just kind of goes back to what Heidi shares with us, the power of one. And then also the arrows out. You could have created that program, kept it to yourself, blossom like no other, but you were so generous and shared that with all of us. And I just wanted to personally tell you that it really, that's when my business took off. And I've always been paid at title as a director, star director, and a superstar director. And I just want to say thank you. And I want to just pass this on really quickly to the other superstar directors. If you can introduce yourself, and if you can share something sweet about Laura, how you met her, or something that she's done to impact your business, we would love to hear that.
You guys are going to give me the big head.
I'll go. I am Kelly Rashaw. I am a superstar director out of Minnesota. And I met Laura for the very first time at a leadership retreat in Florida. And at the time, I had no idea who she was. And I didn't know all this awesomeness. And she started to share with me in the pool. We were all just hanging out in the pool, and it was like jaw-dropping numbers. And this one was, one day she told me she sold $30,000 in a month. Mm-hmm. And inside, I think the highest I had ever sold was like 1,200 maybe, right? And I'm like, holy freaking crap. And I remember going to my room that night, and my stomach was like in butterflies. Like, I met this person who was a superstar director, and I don't even think I was a superstar director at the time, but I didn't even think those type of things were humanly possible. And I told my husband about it, and he was like, we need to know what the hell she's doing, and you need to be friends with her. But she also shared some very personal things with me that day, and how selling $30,000 can affect your personal life, your marriage, and your life all around that. And it was so important to me, because as we all grow in this business, we don't see that. And a lot of times people don't share that either, that there's consequences for for your time commitment. So it kind of goes into tonight's topic as well, is time management, because now Laura's been on all sides. She's been all the way around the circle, full circle. And now I know her as my friend, and I'm so excited for her to share tonight what she's learned and how she's grown and how she came over that, because you can get to that top and then you're there, right? And then what do you do? Because now the whole world is closing in, because now you don't have any time, and your kids are like, Mom, you're always on your phone. Mom, you're always on your business. So tonight I'm so excited because we can all try to figure that out together. It's a major struggle. It's been a struggle in my business. I know some of the other superstar directors have struggled. Some of you guys, it doesn't matter what your title is, you've struggled with this somewhere in your life, whether it's Scentsy or not. So I'm excited.
I love you, Kelly.
Love you too.
Who are you tossing it to, Kelly?
I'm going to toss it to DPP.
Hi, Laura.
Hey, Queen.
I was sitting here watching this weather. I'm sorry, it's getting crazy. But I love Laura. I remember meeting her at World Tour in Atlanta for the first time. And she did such an amazing job. Everything she talked about was so simple. And I'm all about simplicity. And I just love her. I mean, I love her systems. I mean, I've got to adapt to her system. I got to learn those systems. But the one thing that stand out about Laura is the way she does her texting parties. Is it texting parties through Facebook through messenger part? That's it. Messenger parties. That's it. That stood out to me because what a great way to connect with people one-on-one. So that's what stand out with me with Laura. She's so amazing with her systems. I'm ready to learn. I got my pen and paper right here.
Yes. Hi. So my name is Dorothy Sanchez, and I'm a superstar director out of Katy, Texas. And I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of being able to meet you in person, but everything from exactly what DPP said, the messenger parties, everything on your YouTube video is just amazing. And I just wanted to personally say thank you for sharing so much with everybody, with all of Scentsy. So thank you so much.
Oh, you are so sweet.
Okay, I'll go next. I think I'm the last one. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm Amber Turner, Superstar Director from East Texas. And my first encounter with Laura was when she was named Shining Star at SFR. And I believe that was the one in Nashville. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So my husband was there with me, and he was listening to everything that they were saying about you, just as far as your more of your personality and how, sorry, it's so loud in my house, like how you are as a person and stuff. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, wow, that's amazing. And Clint said, she reminds me of you. Like, and that, I'm not saying that in like any kind of a braggy way, but I was thinking, wow, like, I don't know. It takes all kinds of people to do this business, and to know that you're a mom and you're a Christian. And I know that you're super involved in your church and stuff like that. I was thinking, okay, like maybe this can be the real deal for me too. Like maybe I can be a lifer as well. And that was so inspirational for me and for Clint. And so, yeah, that was a big turning point in my business, to be honest.
Oh, that is super kind. I love you, girly. Oh my gosh, you guys have me a little emotional.
Well, SFR Nashville was my first SFR, and that was before I promoted to director. But, what Amber said, she really hit the nail on the head. I'm friends with so many amazing people on Facebook, and obviously you're one as well, but you're so humble, you walk with humility, and I love that about you. So, so thanks for blessing us. I'm sure that everyone could probably unmute and have a Laura story, but we're just very blessed to have you with us tonight. And we just wanted to give you a little glimpse of, just some people that you've impacted in this, world of 300,000 consultants. So again, thank you for joining tonight. And we are so ready to hear how you do this. How do you manage your time?
All right. Well, I am excited to share, and I know I probably won't check all the boxes. And so my aim is to have enough time at the end to open it up for questions. If that's how you guys do things, I feel like I do better in that scenario because I know that everybody comes with needing their cup filled in a different way. Am I supposed to do something to my screen? Yes, no. I don't know if I was supposed to. So I want to tell you a little bit about me. This is only to help give a little bit of maybe the backstory of why I had to create systems and why I had to get my crap together. Definitely an awkward time to talk about myself. I don't enjoy this part, but I know that when you're listening, you listen different when you understand the why behind somebody's path, right? And so I'm going to share a little bit about me. I did join Cincy 13 years ago in 2009. I had a little 2-year-old running around then, and I was working 6 days a week. I was teaching piano, and I would start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I would not say goodbye to my last student until around 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So pretty much like 12-hour days. I raised my 2-year-old in that environment because I was bullheaded enough to not want to put him in daycare. I was a former elementary teacher. I said, I taught everybody else's kids. I'm going to teach my own. And so the problem was that I couldn't homeschool teaching piano 6 days a week for 12 hours a day. And so not only that, financially, things started changing, and we had like that terrible economy crash of 2008. So we were, not only was I like burning the candle at both ends, but financially I was like, okay, God, you put this on my heart to be the stay-at-home mom, but it's not going to work time-wise. It's not going to work financially. Like what's going to give? Like, where's our out? And I'm going to cry now. And every time I tell this story, when I think about where we were and I think about Cincy, I just had no idea what it was going to do to our family. I had no idea. I can remember sitting in bed the night after, or the night of the day that I clicked the join button. Now, I'm a kidnapper too, remember? I'm a kidnapper. And I can remember thinking, I've just made the biggest mistake of my life. We didn't have that $99. And I just wanted the kit. I told my director and consultant, I was like, I am not going to be one of those people that walk the stage. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I had failed at direct sales before. And so I was like, I don't even have time to sell this. I just want the kit. Are you okay with that? And she's like, yeah, I'm cool with that. And so I was like, okay, we're going to get along fine. And so once I got my kit, I had my little shindig at my house with 3 people and ended up doing pretty darn well that month, got my first paycheck. And I remember laying in bed that night, less than a month later. It was actually like almost 10 days later because I joined right before. Okay. Anyway, like at the end of the last day. So I remember laying in bed less than a month before I had clicked that join button with all the doubts. And I felt this rush and I was like, oh my gosh, I just got paid. Back then we got real paper checks. And I remember thinking to myself, this could be the answer to our prayer. And now fast forward 13 years, it was the answer to every prayer we hadn't even prayed yet. Okay. And whether you're religious or not, whether you believe in a higher power or I don't know what you believe in, I'm telling you at that moment, I was like, this could be it. And I can tell you every single day since then, I've had that same moment. This is it. I have had some super highs and I've had some lows, and I'm going to talk about some of those things. I believe we go through everything to help make us better or to help make someone else better. So I'm pretty much an open book. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that, as has already been mentioned, I have really kind of overworked this, and I've definitely created a monster out of myself because doing something you love like Cincy doesn't feel like work sometimes, and you can go so hard and so much. I love serving people. It is the heartbeat. It's the anthem of my life, and it has been way before Cincy. Serving people is it's my love language to others. And in this business, I think that has been Oh, definitely something that I've had to learn how to get smarter in how I serve people, which is where the systems come in. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm also going to talk about how I've created systems around making sure that I serve myself, to make sure that I don't get so burned out that my cup is no longer full to serve others. So a little bit about me, I guess, like business wise. I've earned every annual incentive trip. I've always gotten paid at title every single month of my entire Cincy journey. And I believe that that is because I have been able to figure out how to work smart and how to serve people well, without like giving so much of myself that I don't have anything else to give. Okay. And so I want to talk a little bit about me personally. I do homeschool. God worked that out because of Cincy. I was able to be that dream homeschooling mama that I'd always dreamed that I could be. Luke is 15 now. What the heck? He's in 9th grade and he's been homeschooled 100% of the time. I do now own a CrossFit box, and I am on that floor coaching, and I get to serve others and help them. I'm a nutrition coach too. I get to pour into people and help them get healthier. And then I've got my Cincy, and that just feeds my soul to be able to do that. I teach 3 classes at church, sing almost every Sunday, and play the piano there as well. So I am busy. I tell people Sundays are probably my busiest day, to be honest. It's a full day of serving. Plus we have homeless ministries and all kinds of stuff that I love to just pour into. And so I have a very rich life, but it's pretty nonstop. So I want to share about a little bit about what I do on a daily basis, and I'll try not to duplicate. I realize I put a lot of stuff out on YouTube, and so I don't want this to be a rerun of things that you've already watched on YouTube. And so I'm going to do my best to share fresh things that maybe I haven't put out yet, and hopefully inspire you to create some systems of your own, because I don't want you to ever feel like that. When you see someone doing something well, you have to be a carbon copy. That is probably never going to be the way. You're probably always going to be a smorgasbord of the people that inspire you the most. And I can go back in my Cincy journey, and I've heard people speak in 2009 and 2010 and retreats and people that I've met on Facebook. And I would love to say that I am today a really solid mix of some of the best inspirations that I've been able to mix and mingle with and learn from. Some of my biggest influences never knew I even existed back in the day. And I was okay with that, because nobody knew who Laura was before 2016. And that shining star moment, I can promise you, nobody knew who I was. And that was okay with me. I was happy to be in the shadows. I learned a lot in those seasons, and it's made me be able to really help people. So enough about me. You guys want to get into this? All right. So I do think that there will be things you expect me to say today that I'm not going to say. And I'm going to go ahead and just like unleash some of those moments right now. I'm going to say that I don't have set hours. I don't have, if someone says to me, Laura, what are your Cincy hours? I'll be like, and I know that that's probably not the cool thing to say, because I watch so many YouTube videos and everybody's like, so the first thing you need to do to be successful is set business hours. And I'm like, oh crap. Does that mean I fail? I fail. I don't have Cincy business hours. And so if this is freeing to you, I don't know, but I just want you to know that what I do have are moments where I can tell you I won't be on my phone. So maybe that's the reverse. And you're going to learn about me, something about me. I am a very outside the box thinker. I have been since I was like, I think in elementary school. I was the first time I realized that I'm pretty much not like anybody else. And I'm okay with that. So I want you to know that, like, I don't have Cincy business hours, but I can tell you times in my week where, like, for sure, concrete, without a doubt, every single time I will not be working my Cincy business. I will not answer my phone if you call. I will not be answering that text. I will not even have my phone powered on. So if that helps you, to kind of like reverse that analogy a little bit of maybe instead of setting business hours, set non-business hours. You do you. That really works for me. I'm one of those people that need to be told to get off the couch. I'm sorry, to sit down on the couch. Sorry, I said that wrong. And that I believe that as I mentor people for the last 13 years, and even before that, I believe that there are two sets of people. My sister is very opposite of me. She is one of those that needs to be told to get off the couch. But I was the one that my whole life needed to be told, sit down, relax. Have you drank enough water today? You know what I mean? Like taking care of myself was always the back burner thing. Equally wrong spectrums, right is in the middle. So if you need to be told to get off the couch and work your business more, yeah, Mary and Martha, you got it. Then that's fine. But maybe you need to be told to create systems where you're not going to work your business, where you know that that is going to be your you time, your family time, your son time, your date time. So that is a little bit of an insider, like inside look view, whatever, of me. And I want to tell you that one of the best things that you can do as far as creating systems is understand that whatever you've personally had to learn yourself, I believe that God brought you through that so that you can pass it on to someone else. And so one of the first things that I do for my directors or even my leaders, because I really, really try to start working with my leads as directors right then at lead, I ask them when their date night is. And some of them are like, oh, Laura, I'm not married. I'm like, so? You can have a date with your best friend. You can have a date with your pet. I have directors that their date night is literally them going to a fetch park with their dog. That's cool. Do it. Like I'm super just hell-bent on making sure that my directors are taking time for themselves, because I understand how painful it is to burn that candle at both ends and then get burned out. And you may be looking down into your team or your downline or your directors or whoever. You may even know a Cincy sister that's burned out. She used to be on fire. She used to have that passion, but now she's not as much involved. She's more prone to make excuses. Maybe she just got burned out. And so I want to ask you if the first thing you put on your monthly calendar is a party or a date night. Because if your personal self is not okay and your personal relationships are not okay, then more than likely your Cincy business is not going to be okay. I'm really not one of those people that walk around going, self-care. I honestly wasn't raised thinking self-care. I'm not a very that's what gets me in trouble. I don't think about myself. And so when I think of self-care, sometimes I think, oh my gosh, that's so inward focused. But honestly, it's our relationships that make us stronger, right? And how many times have we been so apt to cancel life to make sure that our Cincy businesses we're making sure that party happens. We're making sure that training call happens. We're making sure that that customer's delivery happens, but our husbands don't see us sacrifice the same for them. Our kids do not see that same stop everything, drop everything. You know what I mean? Like how messed up is that? And at the end of the day, we would stand up in front of a crowd of people and say how important our Cincy relationships are, right? But yet we don't make the same sacrifices for our personal relationships on a routine basis. So I just want you to know how important that is to me and how important it is long-term for you to make sure that the first thing on your monthly calendar that you're penciling in is that date night, whether it's with a best friend, whether it's with a pet, or maybe even a kid. Maybe there's a child in your life, a nephew, a cousin, a grandson that needs a one-on-one date night. Think about it. How fun would that be, right? Okay, so I beat that horse dead. Let's move on. So one of the things that I love, and I'll let you guys Google this because I promise you, I'm not going to try to like review things that I've already put out into the universe through YouTube. But I do have a weekly calendar that's a recognition calendar and a communication calendar. Basically, that lets me know, hey, it's Monday. Who am I talking to today? Who are my people? So every single day I am recognizing someone and I am communicating with someone. I'm recognizing a people group, I like to call them, and I'm communicating with a people group. And so I challenge you to find that YouTube video. I also made some really cute, well, they're cute to me, flyers that go along with it that you can maybe even laminate or at least, print off and put in your calendar. So, hey, it's Thursday. I'm following up with hostesses today. And in those videos, I go through, I think they're 5 minutes long. I go through the reasons why, because I feel like when you understand why you're reaching out to the people groups on a specific day, you're less likely to procrastinate. And so on those videos, I share the why. It's called Laura's Communication and Recognition Calendar. 2 different calendars, but they flow very well together. That being said, that's going to give you, it's going to let you know who you're talking to and what you're recognizing, but it may not give you exactly the ideas into how. And so one of the things that I want to show you today are my new consultant mailouts. Okay, this is a system and I'll show you why. So this is the mail out. I'm going to open it up in a minute and go through it with you. It's nothing fancy. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I work really freaking hard to make sure that anything that I mail out is like 2 to 3 ounces, definitely under 4. Okay. And so anything that I mail out is like that. I will tell you that my retention rate's really high. I didn't know that. I mean, I felt like I was holding on to people pretty good, but then I don't even know what year it was, like maybe 2017, since he did some kind of like fancy pants behind the scenes view at not just who recruited, but did they keep them? Because you can talk anybody into a kit sometimes, but can you keep them? And when you keep them, can they get paid at title? Because isn't that the goal? Is to make sure that they're not just joining, but that they're staying and thriving. That's my goal. I don't just want numbers for new recruits. I want to hold on to them. It's quality over quantity, right? So in this little packet, there's confetti because I believe that heaven is full of confetti. And so I'm just getting a fresh start on it. I love confetti. And all the guys are rolling their eyes right now. I get that. The postage is usually like, it's based on zones because it's first class. Also, I print from home, so I get a discount. It's usually like $3.20-ish. I know. Actually, you could mail most of this off with this stamp. Can I reach for something and get out of this screen? This stamp or this stamp. Yeah, so this stamp is a 3-ounce stamp. And I want to say it's like, I don't know. I don't really know. I can't really remember how much that stamp is, but anyway, you could mail it like that because there's nothing like, oh, glitter is going everywhere. There's nothing like that would catch it in the machines. So you could literally mail it for a 3-cent stamp, or you could just add less confetti and mail it for a 1-ounce stamp. But I like confetti. So that's why I work hard so that I can pay for extra in the mail. So I give them some rub and sniff stickers. Why? Somebody put in the chat why I'm giving my brand new recruits rub and smell stickers. Only 3. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? I want them to go, yeah, the smell that sells, sure, but think deeper. Think of systems. Think of what you're trying to communicate with a rub and smell sticker. Let me just give you the answer. I'm not very patient. So the answer is because you will have people tell you, oh, I had to get out of Scentsy because it costs so much. What? What are you saying here? Well, yeah, everybody's making those samples and my customers expected to smell everything before they bought it. 72 samples for $3 or $2.70? Like, you don't have to make samples. Scentsy already made you samples. I gave you 3 of them when you joined. Like, So when they get that, they know that that is the samples that newbies can use on a budget. 72 for $2. I mean, they go on clearance all the time. Compensation plan. I mean, for a while, since he wasn't printing this in the catalogs, and it drove me back crazy because I mean, this is where it's at, right? So my story, because this is helping them realize that they need a story too. And I want them to have confidence in me. I mean, how would we feel if we joined Scentsy and there was nothing on Orville and Heidi ever, just a name? If we didn't know any of their backstory, would we be as invested heart and soul as we are? No, every little tidbit we learn about Orville and Heidi draws us to this company. Orville says that people join Scentsy because of the products and they stay because they know and like the people. But yet a lot of our teams are not invested to us as people because we haven't shared enough of why we're awesome. And don't for a second think you're not awesome. It took my whole life for me to realize that I had value. And sometimes I still get in my head about it. And I realize that any little thing that I've learned, even when I learn it the hard way, is to share, to help somebody else maybe not have to go through that hurdle or downtime. Like if I can share something yucky that happened to me to save you from having a yucky happen to you, I'm sharing it, right? Okay. I haven't even gotten to the good part yet. I'm going slowly through it, creeping through it. We'll save the finale for last. Welcome. It's time to shine. This is just my first things first. I got this from someone. I can't take credit for any of this. I mean, I put my own words to it, but someone else came up with this snazzy idea. And I really love it because it's all about simple. So train yourself. Your handbook is life. If your handbook does not have the answer, then your sponsor is your person. Now then, let's build, complete your first things first checklist. Number 2, announce you're a Scentsy consultant on social media. Number 3, make your list of 100, schedule a launch party, text your sponsor and me with how many you got on your list of 100, and tell us the name of your launch event. Here's my number. Put that on there. Set a goal. Anyway, when I text them and follow up with their, wow, you're a Scentsy consultant and you're on my team, and I just needed to tell you one more time how excited I am for you, I let them know, hey, did you get your happy mail yet? And hey, how far down that list have you already gotten? Okay, because I don't ever want to assume that number 1, they got their happy mail, or number 2, that they even freaking opened it. How many of us, like, we don't get into our mail? I mean, hopefully the confetti makes this exciting. I would open something fast if I had confetti. I would pull off to the side of the road and get into that, right? But who knows, right? Okay, so ready for the finale. The most important part of my welcome packet is not anything that I've said so far, and it is literally this. I created a 15-minute a day program, and it's awesome. Jesus helped me do it. Laura's brain is not smart. This changes people's lives. When they're a new consultant and they realize that you don't have to be on your phone 24 hours a day to sell Scentsy, and that you don't have to like do long videos of you talking into stories about how amazing Scentsy is like every single day, they totally dig this journey. They totally change. So many times I've heard, oh my gosh, Laura, I literally thought you were going to tell me that I needed to work my business 4 hours a day. I'm like, well, you can if you want to make 6 figures, but we'll get to that later. Let's just build a foundation right now. Everything they need to do as a brand new consultant can be done in 15 minutes a day. And if you get them into that routine, they're going to start making money. And honey, you're never going to have to beg them to, start, what's the word I'm looking for? Like applying themselves more, right? because the money is going to be there to help them understand that, hey, they put 15 minutes a day into it. It got them that paycheck. Let's do more. So I'll give you how do we do this? I want to give you the link to this, but it's on a Dropbox and I didn't think about grabbing that link before. So, Amber, I can just like,
Laura, and then I'll pass it on to the SSD panelists.
okay. Yeah. Who was talking there?
Me, Kelly.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'll do that. Okay. Remind me, Kelly, because my brain gets dumb. Oh my gosh, you guys, look. Do we have any other millennials out there that just loves a checklist? Do baby boomers love checklists too? Or what comes after millennials? Like, I don't even know. But that right there is the favorite part. That's hard to add in Word because I used Word for this one. I don't even think that I should read all of these out for you because I have so many more things I want to share with you tonight. But what I give them 20 ideas. Okay. And then I ask them to take at least one day a week off. Because I don't want them to, I also believe in having a rest day because it's in the Bible, but also you should Google that. I'm like a nerd when it comes to history and stuff. Like having a day off is super important from everything that you do in life, except maybe washing dishes. You should wash dishes every day, but everything else you should take a break from. Oh, take a shower every day. Don't take a break from that. Okay. So I have good news for you. Oh, shoot. I forgot to grab it. Everything is on the other side of the room. I can just talk you through this part. Okay. So they are essential. They get their fancy pants, not empty, but this super cool. Oh, and I got to tell you something else. There's so many things I want to tell you. When do I tell you this part? I'm going to wait to tell you this part. I got to make myself a note. Okay. So I build these up ahead of time. So these are already ready to go. In fact, there's probably at least 50 down here in my drawer. They're ahead of time built. I usually take one day, I don't know, every quarter usually. I make these up in bulk and I pray the heck over them as I'm doing them. And if you don't pray, that's fine. That is totally fine. You can do whatever you do over them. Sprinkle all the good vibes over them, because you know what? Every single one of these represents a human being that I'm going to get a chance to serve. And so I pray over them as I make them. And I pray that God will just help these people understand the power and the value of Scentsy. And so that time of making these, there's no music going. There's no whatever's happening. I mean, the dog's probably barking, but other than that, I'm in my quiet time. And I'm praying over these. And I am nothing, you guys. Like, I am nothing, but I can tell you that there is something very special whenever you get to the place where you realize that it's not about you. And I can't turn anybody from hero to zero. No, I said that wrong. 0 to hero. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I can't. I could probably do that part. I could turn somebody from hero to 0. Yep. Sign me up for that. No. Oh, gosh. I'm all over the place, but I can't make someone turn, no system in the world, no system of mine is going to turn someone into a, like 6-figure earner, but I can be part of the magic. And God knows I want to be the one that they say helped them, encouraged them, gave them a nugget that helped them in the journey. So they get chugging along with this 15-minute-a-day program and all the confetti. And they live on this until they hit lead. And if you've watched any of my trainings before, ever heard me train live, it's probably been leadership minded. I swear every time there's a leadership training opening, Scentsy's like, hey, what you doing? So I treat my lead consultants as director. And you can come at me about this if you want, but I'll tell you, when they become a lead consultant, they are reaping the benefits of being a mentor. So if you wait until someone becomes a superstar consultant to start breathing down their neck about how to train people and how to show up for people, you've lost them. You've really lost them. But the magic and their excitement is at its peak when they hit lead. The very title itself speaks of what they should be doing. But so many of us as directors, especially as superstar directors, we're busy, right? We're wearing a lot of hats. And a lot of times we don't get serious about their title until they are almost at director, right? But then don't you notice that when you look back, they've been at star and superstar consultant for years, right? They've been at that title for years. Not when you start treating them as a director at lead, because they're like, oh, I'm here. I'm ready to do all the work. Sign me up. What do I need to do? Tell me what to do, Laura. I'm a lead now. And I'm like, okay. So I send them out a leader packet. The leader packet has the advanced 15-minute-a-day program. Like, what? I can be a lead consultant and still work my business in 15 minutes a day. Yeah, you can. I give them that advanced checklist with the fancy pants. We got to have that. Can you guys even see that? That part right there is magic. The check off. Oh my gosh, it's great. You can laminate it too, so they can always have it. So the 15-minute-a-day program isn't intimidating to them at all, because it looks a heck of a lot like their 15-minute-a-day beginner program. And they're going to see a lot of the same things, because we know how important it is to keep chugging along, running a good business, having high PRV and still recruiting ourselves, taking care of our customers, rinse and repeat. It's not like we get to director and be like, okay, I'm done with that part. Now I just have to lead a team. Heck no, we're still growing. So when you introduce to them the new checklist that's advanced, number one, they're like, oh, dang, I've made it. I got the advanced version. But when they look at it, they see a merge of both leadership things that are fun to them because they're a lead. How many of your stars and superstars don't take care of their downline? It might be because you missed that sweet spot of excitement when they became a lead and they thought that was cool, right? I mean, it works. It really does. They also get added into a leader lounge that I do, because I've realized that I can influence them as much and try my best to be my all in all. But how many of you guys have teenagers? And you realize that at some point, mom is dumb, dad is old, and everything we say is trash. Same thing with our lead and star and superstar consultants. I swear I could have one of you guys, like DPP or Amber or any of you guys, any of you could come and I could say, guest speaker, we're having Isabel on this tonight. And Isabel could read from a script every dang thing that I'm saying tonight. And my team would be like, she is our hero. Everything she said was gold and my life has changed. And I'm sitting there like, seriously? Like, so, okay, how many times do we forget to help our leaders get influenced by people like our teens, like our teenagers? We do our best to make sure that they're, in different environments to where they're easily influenced by good people that are going to help them grow and thrive, right? Same thing with our teams. And so I have a leader lounge every other Tuesday, and I have a leader lounge chat. And now I'm telling you, when the certified consultants hear about this leader lounge that you can't get access to until you become a lead, it's a lot of FOMO happening. And also, they don't get the advanced version. Like I'm giving you guys a copy and not asking what your title is, but in global accents, my team, they know they don't get that unlocked until they become a lead. I have directors under me that say that they still run their businesses off the foundation of what they got in their advanced beginner packet. It isn't anything overwhelming. It's super simple, to be honest, but I think there's magic there. I think we can overcomplicate this whole process and scare the heck out of people. I mean, yeah, it looks really cool when you follow people on social media and they literally live on social media and their houses are perfect and their makeup is perfect and they have 4-minute stories of them talking about all the awesomeness. But in real life, our teams may be super threatened and intimidated by that, to the point where they may just need to understand that you can be awesome and literally have a real life that doesn't look as polished. You know what I mean? So, okay, I need to move on. Another thing that I want to share, I learned from Shelly Sharp, Melissa Gratt's sister. Oh man, this changed my life. I am super excited to pass it on to you guys. It is just a super uncomplicated system. But if you think about how many letters are in the alphabet, 26, and you think about how many days are in a routine average month, 30 or 31, how many days off do you get? 4 or 5? How perfect. So you take all the A's in, I have a lot of directors, like I think I'm at 81 directors now. So I can take all the A names and reach out to them on the first day of the month, and all the B names on the second day of the month, and all the C names on the third day of the month. You get where I'm going with this? And all the D names on the fourth day of the month, fifth day of the month, say is a Sunday, taking the day off. So where would I start on Monday? E, F, G, H, I, oh, another Sunday. So I have my built-in 4 days of rest. And have you caught a load of there's not many X's or names that start with Y? So if you front load your month, you're going to get to talk to people before that last part of the month for the majority, which is really good because I don't do a whole lot of mentoring towards the last 4 or 5 days of the month, because my team has already been taught that we front load our month and we don't wait till the last day of the month to place orders. But then also too, people get really kind of like in their feels when you reach out to them at the end of the month, because they're like, she wants to know if I'm going to place an order. She's not happy with my PRV. Oh no, honey, I'm calling because I saw that your dog got hurt on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, but it's better for me if I, do it like this, because those last few days of the month where the X's are, nobody's name starts with X, very, very few start with Y, nobody's name starts with Z, it works out perfect because I don't want to talk to people that time of the month anyway. Does that make sense? Now you know why? Okay. You could do this with your customer base. You could do this with your team. I print off my directors' names on these, and then I write down a keyword beside them. So I know exactly who I'm reaching out to every single month. And I write down a keyword: discouraged, husband lost job. That's keywords, but you get what I'm saying? Like, when you get a lot of people to serve, you don't want to lose that personal touch. Do I get it perfect every time? No. Are there months that I stop at M and have to pick up the next month with A on the first? Yes. Yes. Do I sometimes feel really guilty because I can't remember what our last conversation was about? Sure. But I feel like I'm a better leader because I at least have a system in place to help me try to check the boxes that I know are important to them. Okay. So, gosh, there's so many things I want to tell you and we're running out of time. Okay. So I want you to go down back in time with me to 2004. Okay. When most of us didn't even know Cincy existed, right? I know I didn't. Yeah. So we're in 2004. Orville and Heidi have just landed on a gold mine of an idea. And they are still pouring bars, hand-poured bars in their little sheep farm ocean container. I've been there. It's way cool. Many of you guys have too. And they are getting their mom and dad to help because Fred and Alice, man, they're awesome, right? And they're rocking it. I mean, long hours, but they're getting it done. They're packaging orders. Everything's going great. And that's where it stops. They just keep doing it themselves, and it's great. None of us would ever exist if that was the end of the story. I want to ask you a question. How many people are out there that you have never been able to be a blessing to because you are hell-bent on doing it all your dang self? You won't get help. Aren't we all super glad that Orville and Heidi realized that this could be bigger than what they could do alone? And they got help. We have to let go of the control and realize that God has put someone in our path to help us. I'm going somewhere with this. There may be systems that you need to do to reach people that you haven't been able to reach yet because you won't get help. And I'm talking to me. I would have never become a six-figure earner. I can't even remember my first six-figure earner year. And now I'm a multiple six-figure earner. But I can tell you with 1000% that if I had never been willing to get a personal assistant or to get someone to clean my house or whatever, I would never be where I am today. I would never be having this conversation with you. If you wait to afford, what's the saying? Gee whiz. If you wait until you can afford to get help, you'll never be able to afford to get help. I believe that God has placed some little lady in your neighborhood that can't make more than a certain amount that would love to label your catalogs for you. I believe there's a little girl in your church or your gym, or I don't know what you do, but there's someone in your life that hates babysitting, but she really loves to go to Ulta. And you could be doing the blessing of her entire month to say, honey, would you please come and, I don't know, make up my new consultant packets? Do you think I can get any of this done on my own? No. And I'll tell you that there have been times where I've tried. God put somebody in my path and I was like, okay, this is who I'm supposed to be a blessing to. My paycheck to them was a blessing. They were like, Laura, I needed this. I needed this. And then they moved to Colorado. And I was like, you know what? I got this. They worked me up ahead enough on my stuff. I'll be okay because I like control. And guess what? I missed out on the fact that there was a girl in my son's youth department that really needed the money. And because I was so bullheaded, how many more months could she have worked for me instead of having to work in the public that isn't always a healthy place for a young teenager? Maybe that $9 an hour is going to keep somebody from, I don't know. I just want you to just open up your heart and realize that this picture is so much bigger than, just take yourself back. At any step of the way, Cincy could have been so much different if Orville and Heidi would have kept trying to do it all themselves. And we have the opportunity to be a blessing to others, whatever that looks like. Maybe it's free bars, free Cincy for someone to do the stickering for you. And then you can go have a date night and no guilt because you come home and your bars are done and your husband is happy and your kid is thankful that he got mom's one-on-one attention, right? I have so much more to share. Like, I have a whole sheet full of stuff that I thought I would get to tonight, but I hope that something that I shared at least started the wheels turning in your mind on how you could simplify, but get a system for how you're going to do this and manage this, because we have big jobs. I don't care if you're a lead consultant listening. No. I don't care if you're a brand new consultant, an essential consultant. We have big jobs. We have the ability to serve people. And sometimes even a Cincy package can change someone's their complete mindset for that day. Even more so as a superstar director that gets to pour into people, we have a big, big job. And I want you to wake up tomorrow with fresh mindset and just wheels spinning tonight as you go to bed on things that you can apply. I know I didn't get to all my notes, but let's open it up for questions if there is even time. I don't know. Okay, I'm done.
So is it possible to nominate you again for Shining Star? This is why you earned Shining Star. Like, this is amazing. I could not even write fast enough. And I'm looking at Amber over there and her head's down. All of us, are just taking notes in the chat. Like, this is what we need. We can talk about PRV. We can talk about sponsoring, which we're going to do tomorrow. We can talk about all the things, but tonight, like, this fed so many of us. And it doesn't matter what your title is, like you said, essential, just coming in today. If you've been here, since 2004, I don't know, but this fed so many of us. Golly, we'll have to invite you back on again, because this is just, I know I needed this. One of the questions I have, you said that you have 81 directors, which is amazing. So clearly, these systems that you have, you're taking care of your team, and then you're delegating for your directors to do the very same thing that you're doing, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I use the family analogy, and I know everybody has a different way of thinking about this, but grandma don't want to have to cook for 81 kids. I don't want to do laundry for 81 kids. I raised my son, he's 15, but I raised him independent. And if I've done my job well, I believe that one day he'll be, hopefully in like 3 or 4 years, he'll be able to go out. I want him to be independent. I think I would feel like a failure if I had to take care of my son's family because I had not raised him that way. I do the same thing with my team. And so when they hit director, I ask them to be paid at title for 3 months before they take their team off of my team page, but they already have created their team page. I just ask for them to be paid at title for 3 months so that there's not that back and forth that sometimes happen. But yeah, they have access. Okay, so when they take their team off my team page, they are still on my team page. And so it's kind of like going grocery shopping anytime they want for free. They can come and grab all the ideas that's happening on my team page and take it back to their team page, and their team will never be the wiser. So they'll always know that they have access to anything I share, anything we share. But I want their team to think they are the best thing since sliced bread. And if they're sharing a stage with me, I'm taking the spotlight away from them and the opportunity for them to be the Cincy mama that I know that they are. And so I don't want them attached to the hip. I don't want them living in a trailer in the backyard. You know what I mean? Like, I love them and we do some group things together. Nothing against trailers, by the way, at all. I don't want them living in a she shed or a tiny house in the backyard either. But you get what I'm saying? Like, and I know that there's different schools of thought there. So please don't feel like I'm trying to like down anybody else's idea. That's just how I've always done it. And I honestly don't feel like that I could be a very good mentor to my frontline because I have like 170 something frontline. I couldn't be that kind of frontline leader that I need to be if I was trying to manage a group of 4,000. Does that make sense?
That makes complete sense. It really does. Thank you so much for answering that. And I know that we were monitoring the chat, so we can close this and give you back to your family. We'll go around to each SSD. One question do you have, or did you see in the chat that you might want to ask?
I'll go first. So my question is, what else do you put in your advanced packet besides the advanced 15-minute checklist?
Okay, so it's kind of ever changing. I get bored very easily. And so it is a bunch of documents that I find from either the What Did You Share page or the SSD page, or even things that I'm doing in my own business, because I want to make sure that as a lead consultant, I'm still inspiring them to up their own personal business. So it may be things like, the 8-bar, you know what I'm saying? I just printed one out the other day. The 8-bar, oh my gosh, it's 8 people to a party. Oh my gosh, do you know what I'm talking about? It's like if you get 8 people to buy a 6-pack, yes. So like, that's one of the things I put in there. I wouldn't put that to a beginner, but I would put that in a lead packet. And so it's ever changing. Someone asked me on the what did you share page or somewhere, and I'm like, man, I change it up all the time to make it current, but I can give you like 5 or 6 documents that are always in there so that it might like get your wheels spinning. I can give that to Kelly as well, making myself a note.
That's all. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
I found a couple questions. The first question, this is Kelly. Can we have her back next week on Dreamstruck?
Oh,
Second one, yes, we need a part 2. And another, we need everybody wants you back. That's exciting.
oh my gosh. I feel like I was a train wreck, you guys. You're making my night.
You were not a train wreck. You
I
did
never watched
amazing and you filled all the cups.
I never rewatched the replays or watch the replays because I'm always like, I'm never doing that again, ever.
I hope Debbie's okay. I think there was like a tornado watch or something. Debbie, are you still with us?
Oh yeah, it's bad here. I'm sorry. I'm still listening, but the dogs are cutting up and everything. They're nervous.
Okay, no worries. You take care of the.
I'm about an hour from where DPP lives, I think, and it's really bad here. Like we're under tornado watches. Same thing. I thought we had hail hitting the window, but I think it's bugs, so we're safe.
Praying for you too, Laura. Praying for you over there as well.
Thank you, Queen.
I just saw one last question that came in.
Okay.
And that is, how long did it take for you to reach your title and get that 6-figure income?
So I hit director in 6 months and superstar director a year later. And I wish I could remember my first 6-figure paycheck. I want to say it was 2 years after hitting superstar director. I believe it was 2014. No, I think it was 2013. And I'll go ahead and tell you guys, like, defy the freaking odds, because I can remember whenever I hit my first 100,000 paycheck, I can remember thinking this can't be. Like, we were in a slump. Cincy was in a slump. If you were around back then, in 2013 was not a good year. 2012, we were raising the roof, like things were buzzing, but 2013 was a down path, and 2014 as well. And so, man, defy the freaking odds. Don't feel like that you got to go the path that everybody else is going. Like, don't let your head go there. I never have. It makes me drive harder whenever I realize that the boat is sinking. You know what I mean? Not that Cincy was sinking. Oh my gosh, cut this out of the replay. You get what I'm saying though? Like, when I realize that things are going down, I'm like, oh heck no, they're not. And that makes me push harder. So you guys, for sure, like, get that mental mindset right. Yeah.
So I know what you're saying. You know, at that time, you all were in a hyper growth. And if I remember what Orville said afterwards, it was kind of like a hangover. It's kind of like when we are in our hyper growth from, September through December, we're just go, go, go. And then all of a sudden we have a hangover in January. I know we experienced a hangover, and all of a sudden, someone in the What Did You Share group came up with this clean bucket, And so just like you, I'm like, you know what? We're not going to stay hungover. Like, we can hang over for a week, and rest, but now we need to sell these buckets. And what did we do? Like, we sold it out of the roof, Sunkissed Citrus, lemon verbena. I don't know, my customers don't buy lemon verbena, but guess what? In January, sold. Yep. So yes, we have seasons of even minute hyper growth moments, and then we have the hangover. But guess what? Just because the calendar says it's a hangover doesn't mean we have to hangover. We get to put it in overdrive, right?
Oh, heck yeah. You are so right there.
And sometimes we just experienced a huge hyper growth, and thank goodness, we're not in a decline. I mean, we have such an amazing home office staff, but where sometimes we're told, don't compare it to 2020's numbers. Yeah, I'm comparing it to 2020 numbers because we can shatter that still yet, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. we've got the people, and now we have, you know, like the growth that happened because of 2020 should give us a higher platform to build on, you know, like to look at it any other way to me is like negative thinking, like get that out, right? Yeah, I agree.
Well, thank you so much. One thing that I want to add, and I really have to let everyone know because we have so many new consultants, there's about 50 million Sensi groups out there. And I came across a YouTube video. So do follow Laura on YouTube, do follow her on Instagram, but a YouTube video came up and you gave the best advice. Do not join 50 million Facebook groups because you're going to be all over the place. Find at least like 5 solid ones and stick with that, you know, because we don't need to be in 50 million groups. You're not going to make it that way. So in that case, less is more, right? We just want to say thank you so much. It has been such an honor. I thought Leap to Lead changed our business. I know even Kelly Rashaw, she was like piggybacking off of Leap to Lead too, and Amber, but tonight, if y'all took some notes, this could be life-changing. This could truly be business changing if you apply it. We can take all the notes we want to. The next key is when you click end and end the Zoom, are you going to apply a system? And again, remember what she said in the beginning, what Laura said, you know, you can take what you feel will work for you and then make this smorgasbord, right, mix of yourself. So that way you can have an authentic system that works for you, but you all create a system. You don't have to work yourself to the bone. You don't have to work yourself to burnout. And there are examples such as Laura. So thank you so much for your time. If any of us can repay this favor for you, we would be honored and blessed to do that.
Oh, please. I'm going to be reaching out. This was fun.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Bye.
Good night. Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.